Hi, it's Celia here from LTR Coaching, and I'm going to take you through some lower body stretching and relax at the end. So if you've got a blanket to keep you warm at the end of the session, then go grab it now. And you might also want a timer in case you want to stay on for a little bit longer with the relaxation. So you might want to set a timer at the beginning when we start. You also might need a couple of blocks or books because we're going to be just starting off with a hamstring stretch. And if you've got tight hamstrings like me, then you're going to need a little bit of support. So we're going to start with the blocks to the side of you. And then we're taking the right foot out in front and we're just going to lean into that front foot, the right foot, and then leaning back and bringing the heel back. Bringing the toes back towards you. So you can even make these blocks higher if you want to. So the blocks are around where your hips are, and we're just leaning forward and then bringing our toes towards us and bringing the hips back. So we'll do a few of those just to get some movement in there, get blood flowing in the hamstring. Remembering to breathe in and out as we do this. If you want to, you can put the blanket underneath your knee if your knee is painful on the floor, just to give yourself a little bit of extra comfort, because this is quite a strong stretch when we hold it. So we're just going to hold this stretch now. Breathing in and out. Trying to fold forward a little bit over the front of the hamstring. So bringing your chest towards your quads. Okay, and then we're going to come forward and we're just going to do a few twists in this position. So you can bring your hands onto the floor and we're going to open out towards the right. And make sure this knee doesn't drop out. So we're keeping the knee above the ankle and we're opening up, twisting, and then twist to the other side. So towards the left, and again, remember your knee, keeping that in line with your ankle. And we'll just take a few more twists there. So we're going to breathe in as we come to center and then breathe out as we twist. Breathe in, breathe out. So this should feel really nice. Twist, it's gentle through the spine. You might also feel a little bit of stretching and movement in the top of the thigh. And then I'm going to take one more to each side and then come back to center. And then just step back, foot back, that right foot back, and step your left foot forward. Grab your blocks or books or whatever you've got. And then again, we're going to move into that hamstring stretch. So moving forward and back, bringing the toes towards you. And again, you can have that blanket underneath your right knee if you need to. Bringing movement into the hamstring, into the hips, getting blood flowing in there so that when you hold your stretch, it's not in a unwarmed up state. So it's a bit easier to stretch the muscle a little bit or release the muscle a little bit. I prefer to use the word release because then we're not forcing, we're allowing it to rebound to its natural state. So we're going to just hold here for a few seconds, breathing. And then you can fold forward over that front thigh. Thinking about releasing, resetting. Just hold for one more breath. And then you can move your blocks out the way, and we're going to do some twisting again. So we're twisting first of all towards the right, bringing the left arm up into the air and facing, towards the left. And then towards the right. So opening up to the right, breathing into center, opening up to left. And just do a few more of those in your own time, with your own breath, remembering to try and keep that knee in line with your ankle. Okay, we'll do one more to each side. And then bringing that foot back. And then just sit back on your heels here. So you probably will want a blanket, but it's not necessary, underneath your knees. Now, if you do feel any pain in your knees in doing this stretch, I'm going to recommend that you do an alternative, which is to lie on your side and bring your heel towards your bum, and we're just stretching the front of the quads here. So keeping your knees together and squeezing the front thigh forward, and then you can do the same on the other side. Just demonstrating this before we go into the actual stretch. So this is your alternative if you are going to struggle with this one, or if you've got knee issues. So if you haven't got knee issues and this doesn't cause you any pain or problems, then we're going to kneel and then just start to walk back onto your elbows, trying to keep the knees down on the floor. So again, this is where blocks may come in useful. So you could put your blocks behind you and you may come to here, or you may be able to go down a little bit lower and just feel that stretch through the quads. So we're just going to hold here for a few seconds. You may even be able to drop your head down to the floor, but that might be too much. So wherever you feel is the best position for you. So we're just going to hold for a few more seconds in this position. And then very slowly bringing yourself out of the stretch, the release. Shift your hips a little bit from side to side. And then bring your right foot parallel, the shin parallel to your knee in this position. And we're going to take a pigeon stretch here. So we're looking at this right foot being across the mat. So we've got an angle here. And then we're going to take the left foot out behind, and we're stretching into the hips. Now, ideally you want this shin parallel, but what tends to happen is the heel comes in towards your groin because we're quite tight usually in the hips. So we can either stay in this position, upright like that, getting a really good stretch across the glutes, or if you want to, you can come down onto your elbows, or you can even come down onto your forehead in this position, just wherever you feel is the right place for you today. Remember, it's not always the same every day, so just listen to your body and tune into what's going on today. And we're going to hold in this position. And again, if you want to use a block, you can use a block underneath your elbows. If you want to. This is another way of modifying the exercise to suit you. We're going to hold for another 10 seconds here. And then just roll onto that right hip. And bring the left foot round now. So bring the left foot across your mat and then the right foot out behind. So just swapping through, and you might find this side is tighter or easier. We're all different, we're not symmetrical. And then just folding forward here, whichever position was comfortable for you. Your hip may be down on the floor, it might not be. We're just going to hold here. And we're just looking down at the floor as well. Okay, we're going to hold for another few seconds here before gently coming out. So just roll onto that left hip and bring your right foot round in front of you. And then we're going to do our last stretch into the hips. So just bring your feet, the soles of your feet together, and have them quite a way out in front of you. And then we're trying to bring our chest down towards the floor. Wrap your hands underneath your feet and your ankles, and then just drop your head down. Go into this kind of inverted position where you can release and relax. So you can feel a release across the upper back and shoulders, maybe through the mid-back as well, lower back, and in your hips. If folding forward is not an option for you, then you can be sitting upright with your feet together and opening up the hips in that way. Keep your head a little shake from side to side. You can close your eyes if you haven't done so already. And then we're going to move into a relaxation. So keep your eyes closed if you want. If you can grab your blanket and just try and move as gently as you can into your relaxation position. So when you're there, make sure that you're comfortable. Just shift about. If you need to set your timer, then set your timer. We're going to stay for around 5 minutes. Just gently roll your head from side to side and find the point that's neutral. Making sure your shoulders are relaxed on the ground and they're not hunching up towards your ears. And then we're going to do a breathing technique that you can practice. This is a good one if you, sometimes when you can't sleep, it just gives you something to focus on and relaxes you. So we're going to do visual alternate nostril breathing, which you may have done before if you've done yoga. If not, don't worry, I'm going to talk you through it. So we're imagining that we're breathing in through the left nostril, then breathing out through the right, and breathing in through the right, out through the left. So in through the left nostril, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left, in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, and out through the left. I'm going to talk you through one more round. In through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. So just continue breathing in that pattern in your own breathing rhythm. Visualizing the breath going in and out of the nostrils. And then just relaxing your breathing, so going back to your normal breathing now. Just take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And you can either stay in this position, stay relaxing for as long as you need to. We're going to take another deep breath in and out. And then start to bring movement into the toes, into the feet, into the hands. Rocking the head a little bit gently from side to side. And then bring your feet flat on the floor. If you're coming out, just roll onto whichever side you want to gently. Make this slow. Keep that feeling of relaxation in your body. And slowly coming up to sit. Thank you for joining me in the reset, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.